Live.
After Ilana Glazer show Broad City, and they're also looking for one last shot at getting recognized for TV Industry Awards. I'm Charlie Bright of Gold Derby, here with Ilana and Abbi to ask them why they felt it was time to wrap up the show. I was going to say, why are you doing this to us? But I'm sure there's probably a good reason.
Charlie, we're just sorry for the delay. It's just a little in and out, but we get the vibe. So we had been talking about the end of the show for a few seasons, for a few years. You know, once the characters started making little growth moments, which I feel like was season 3, you know, in Heat, they start learning stuff. I think that's when it, just now in retrospect, that's when it started to be like, you know, what is this show, right? Like, what is this series?
Develop more arcs for the characters.
And then when we got the, you know, season 4 or 5 pickup, I feel that was also like part of the events. Like I also feel like we just started thinking about the rate of growth that we wanted to cover, and just creatively, really, it felt right. And we had been sort of circling around the question for a couple seasons.
Yeah, and the characters, you know, Broad City has always been based around our experiences living in New York in our 20s, and we kind of figured out that that's what the show is. And so once one of them is out of their 20s, it felt right that the show would end and sort of leave space for whatever comes next. Because that's such a specific experience. And yeah, I mean, we've been doing Broad City as a web series before the show. And so we've been doing it for 10 years now. And it just felt really right creatively.
And it was also like, we needed to, you know, we wanted to write it so that it really felt like a real ending, just like the season, and then also an ending to the series. And we needed to know before season 5, we had to make that call right before season 5. Which is when we made the call.
So over the years, there have been so many great episodes of the show. And I'm curious if there were any ideas that you had for episodes that you were really passionate about that for one reason or another just didn't make it as an episode in the end.
It's funny, we checked a lot of boxes this year. We had a lot of like scragglers, like just miscellaneous ideas that we hadn't gotten to, and we got a lot of them.
Well, like the Brooklyn Bridge, we really wanted to do a Brooklyn Bridge episode in season 2, but it's one of the most difficult places to shoot. Obviously, if you watch the last episode, you can tell why, because it's open. We couldn't close it down. It's live. So New York City is on the bridge with us, but we finally managed to figure it out for the last episode. But I think we managed to get most of our bucket list places and storylines in there.
You know, I mean, there's episodes we've written and then rewritten, and like
Israel would be the one. Sorry.
Right. Oh, that is a good one. We were going to go to Israel for the season finale of season 3, but some infatada had just happened, and it just like felt not cool, and we were like, nah. And we're really happy with what we ended up with. Juice on a Plane.
Yeah, we were sort of forced to rewrite a bottle episode on an airplane, which those limitations are sometimes little bursts of like luck, because it's like that ended up being so bizarre and fun and probably way better than the Israel episode would have been.
But that episode was so funny. I loved
it's hilarious.
The Israel script.
Yeah.
It actually was like, that is honestly, I'm like, ugh, but it just felt like complex, and we're not like, Israel, you know, it just felt like too complex and not like what we wanted to do. We honestly made the call. Lucia was on her way to the airport to Israel, and she got the call from us. We were like, dude, it's like, we don't feel safe about it. We're like right about this. And she was like, Okay. That's my Lucia impression. Okay.
So the show has also been, in my view, a great antidote to the era of the current occupant of the White House. I know you guys didn't. I'm making my best effort not to say his name because you guys didn't actually say his name on the show, which I thought was brilliant. Yeah. But did you have to do any major reworking of the fourth season because of the outcome of the 2016 election? Or is it still kind of a blank slate after that?
You cut out a little bit in there. Did you ask if we had to do reworking of the fourth season when?
Because of the outcome, yeah.
Yes, we did. I mean, we wrote the fourth season before the election, and we knew we were going to have to come back and do some rewrites regardless. But when we came back, we were very distraught, and it was just all we were talking about. And it seeped into the show like most of our real lives tend to do in one way or the other. And yeah, we ended up reworking that main script, which is the witches episode where Ilana can't orgasm because of he who shall not be named, or since he's been elected. And then it seeped into other episodes in smaller ways, but there was an overall tone. You know, we happened to be shooting in the winter, which is why we pushed that anyway, because we really wanted the opportunity to shoot in New York in the winter, because we always shoot in the summer and the fall. And so that married well with the way we were feeling.
Perfect.
Yeah. So because of the show, I mean, you two have gotten to do so many incredible things. You've gotten to go to, award shows as nominees. You got to present at the Emmys last year, which I loved because I heart John Mulaney so much. But you've also gotten to present at the Mark Twain Awards to Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What's been the most thrilling thing you've gotten to be a part of?
Dude, I'm literally like,
yeah, what's the most...
Like, good fucking call. That was so special. I love PBS so hard, and I love the Mark Twain Prize, and I fucking love JLD. And we were like, I gotta like props to Sarah Schaefer, comedy writer Sarah Schaefer, who wrote that bit for us, and we like talked it out with her and brainstormed. But that was like that was one of the scariest things.
Oh yeah.
Because the puking, like we were like so hyperventilating at that dance. We were like retching after it.
Yeah, that was really incredible. I will also say, I mean, for me, I think to present at the Emmys was really special. You mentioned that we've been to award shows as nominees. I think that was one time to the Critics' Choice Awards. I will say have never been nominated for an Emmy in any way. For anything,
yeah,
and have never been, like we've always watched from TV like everyone else, and for us to present, for us to even be in that room was so huge, and to be able to be funny on that stage, because I think a thing is like, we love our show so much, it is our baby, but the comedy category is ruthless. It's really hard to be considered. And also comedy itself is like not always funny anymore. Like,
that's the thing. Like when you say ruthless, I'm like, what do you mean? But it's like,
not ruthless. I just mean it's really
it's
hard to
like
break into it.
It feels like comedies these days are like, I don't know, this like mood
dramas
or like a lookbook, it's like a lifestyle shows, like comedy shows. Whereas I'm so proud of Broad City being hard comedy, but that's not really like honored.
It's usually not honored at the award shows. Like, so for us to get up there and get to present and be that, like to do our thing up there, even if it was really quick, was huge.
And the another aspect of the show that I think is so that works so well are the incredible guest stars that you've had over the 5 years of the show at the Comedy Central. Whether it's Blake Griffin playing himself, or Tony Danza, or Fran Drescher, or Jane Curtin. There have been so many. Who has been a personal favorite for each one of you as a guest star?
I was going to say, I was going to answer your last question about what's the best thing we've gotten to do. And I'm like, the show has been, the other stuff is funny, candy experiences, and it's fun. But the show has been the richest part of the whole experience. At every stage, but shooting is just so wild. And the guest stars that we've had, we've been so, they're specific. Even Blake Griffin in there, does make sense with Whoopi and Shania Twain and Rue. It's kind of random, but also the quilt of talent that we've gotten to, one second, sorry. The talent that we've gotten to, the tapestry we've gotten to luxuriate in, has been such a blast. And such an honor to have these people want to be, Broad City is such a unique show that it's you get it if you get it. And that's the same with the guest stars. RuPaul for me was I felt like we were ice skating duo. He is just eleganza. He is just so, he blessed our set with such a rich spirit. But Vanessa Williams, it was crazy. Vanessa was so funny. Shania Twain, I'm honestly, I can't even.
I mean, yeah, there's so many. I'm just trying to think. I'm Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen to do first episode of season 2. I mean, that was early on.
What a
that was incredible. And to go for it, we were schwitzing the whole time. I mean, Kelly Ripa, it's just unbelievable.
These
it's
people are so cool.
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi. I was in love. Oh my gosh.
It's been such a treat.
We were watching
Alan Cumming. I mean, we could go on and on.
We were just talking about Wanda Sykes's new stand-up special, which is so funny. I was watching it the other day, and
so good.
She was on our show. Wanda
know.
is so funny, and it's such a man. I'm what coolies the guest stars we had have been so cool. Whoopi Goldberg, that season 2 or 3?
3.
That was the same episode as Vanessa. Whoopi, come on, Whoopi to be, her own character, to be self-referential like that in our show is crazy.
She came on and didn't even say anything. I mean, it was crazy. Sister Act was I owned it on VHS. I watched it constantly. For her to be yep, I'll come on. I'll be Sister Mary Clarence for a fantasy scene. I'm
do you remember? I was talking to her, and I was totally keeping it up, keeping it cool. I'll be right back. And I ran and cried. and that set was such a fake. We worked in this abandoned building as a stage, and I was amongst rubble and a building site. I was
it's just been I feel I've learned so much from our guest stars too. Just about how to be. That people are so humble, and how to be on set, and how to treat crew,
and what the industries look like. Not only are we pretty young, we've been legit in the industry for
really young,
19, pretty much. We were 19. 19.
No, we weren't.
No, I was making a joke, but then I took it seriously. We've been up in this for 5 or 6 years, but these people to share their experiences with us, and share their experience and who they've curated themselves to be on our show. Damn, we're so lucky.
Yeah, really.
All the guest stars, there's who can we choose above anyone else? Just has been so fun. Seth Green.
So one of the things at the Emmys that they have you do is, if you were to get nominated, you have to submit an episode. And what I was wondering is not what you would choose for yourselves, but what would you choose for this past season for each other's episode? So, yeah, Abbi, what would you choose for Ilana? And Ilana, what would you choose for
our performance?
You cut out a second.
Yeah. Oh, yes. For your performance, yes, you'd have to submit an episode. And I was wondering, yeah, if you could choose an episode for the other, which one would you choose?
I think I would maybe choose. It's tough. It's tough because I'm like funny. Okay, so I think 8 is Ilana's most like juicy performance because it goes really it goes really dark. But I think 4 for Ilana might be the funniest with the therapy.
Hysterical. It is so.
It's hard. Or 7 with the eye. It's really hard.
Like, you know, I was just talking about how like much I love how hard the comedy is in our show, but I mean, but your storyline is harder in this. Mine's like emo, but episode 5 at MoMA, I don't know what it is about that episode, and maybe it's like because I directed it, but you were so raw and tender in that episode. It just was you just were so exposed. It was a really beautiful performance. It was that I love 5, and like
well, I had a really good director.
that I don't know, there was something very like raw.
I would pick that one too. Which would you pick for yourself?
I don't know. I really like 10.
Yeah,
I love like just how we let it actually happen. That was so up and down, and also the toilet cracks me up. It's like I'm so gross, you know, and then so like it's so sweet, you know.
Yeah.
I love 10. Love fucking 10.
I mean, the one that I'm most excited about, not weirdly, but because it's the one that it begins the arc is 1. Like I'm so proud of episode 1 because there are so many jokes per minute, and we took such a risk and made this, I consider like a piece of art for the like technological phase we're in right now as society. But like we were terrified of making that episode, and it came out better than we could have ever imagined. Nick Paley, who directed it and edited, like knocked it out of the park, and it is also very emotional. It's you know something's coming, but it's also really hard comedy.
I would not nominate that episode.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that as performance too, because I was watching with my friend Matt, and he was like, "Oh my God," I was like sad in this. Like he was, you know, he was so moved by it, and like that was such an accomplishment in those little blips. But like, I just like with 5, like whatever.
Yeah.
Not really
no, I'm just
5,
saying for
like, I like
for the
being
show
up with you.
Yeah,
you know. But 1 was like that was such a gorgeous episode. I would pick that as an episode to nominate.
Well, thank you so much, Abbi and Ilana. To all of your viewers, go to goldderby.com right now and make your prediction. Compete against our experts, editors, and other fans and prove if you are the smartest prognosticator in Hollywood. But before you go, click our subscribe button on this video, and you'll be alerted to our great chats with top contenders.
Thank you for having us.
Abbi and Ilana, thanks so much.
Bye.